Alexia, what is the definition of a movie remake?
Here's something I found on the web. According to mememe.com, a new film adaptation of a film or literary work is described by the term remake.
Alexia, what is the plot to the movie Train to Busan?
Train to Busan is a 2016 action movie starring Gong Yoo, Yoon Yumi, and Ma Dong-seok. While a zombie virus breaks out in South Korea, passengers struggle to survive on the train from Seoul to Busan.
Hey, it's Echo Kiro here, the Pacific Northwest Geek. And what you just saw, what I was asking my Amazon Echo, what the definition of a remake was, and the plot to one of the best horror movies the last 10, 15 years. In my opinion, also the best zombie movie the last 10, 15 years. The South Korean movie, Train to Busan. Damn good movie. Recently there's been talk about them doing an American remake of this. Even Joe Bob Briggs, dude, if you haven't seen his show on Shredder, dude, you need to, because he's got a program on there. Anyways, he called this perfect, and this movie is damn near perfect. And yes, I do have the sequel, but I haven't watched it yet. Well, I made a movie talking about why I like horror. I haven't uploaded it yet. I'm probably going to upload this one before I upload that one. But I had talked, I believe, about the remake. And afterwards, I was thinking, why not just talk about the remake and my opinions on this? Got to thinking more and more. I thought, why not talk about my thoughts, my feelings on remakes, period, before realizing there is remake, retelling, reboot, and adaptation. Now, by the way, it's my air thing. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a 1980s slasher movie. Controversial because it was released before Christmas and featured the guy just with Santa Claus killing people. About not quite 20 years back, there was a remake of this called Silent Night. That is a remake. And a retelling is basically kind of like what they did with the Star Trek, which actually that's a reboot. What they did with Star Trek when they did the first reboot with basically giving like the backstory about with Kirk and stuff. That's a reboot, and a wee bit of a retelling because it's we'll call that a reboot. But retelling is kind of like a remake with a whole new story. It can be considered a reboot. There have been several Japanese movies that have been adaptation. Adaptation is taking a movie that's already made, perhaps in another country, and then make it in like what they're talking about, Train to Busan, or this movie right here. This might look like Pulse, but actually this is the original Japanese one. Get there the name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'd butcher it. But they did the same thing with Grudge and Ring. Those movies are adaptations or remakes of a Japanese movie. Quarantine is an adaptation / remake of a Spanish movie called Rec. Actually, there's 4 Rec movies, I believe. And the American remake just basically removes all the religious stuff because originally it was something about some girl was assaulted and then they tried to perform an exorcism and they removed all that religious stuff from Quarantine. Otherwise, Quarantine is a scene-by-scene remake, which just sucks because there's this cool effect that when someone gets affected and you see the reflection, they take on this demonic appearance in the reflection. It sucks that they took that out of Quarantine. But like you get something like this. This is the 1990 made-for-TV adaptation of the Stephen King story It. Of course, it's an adaptation of of the book. Then you get these. These are an adaptation of the book, not a remake of this. Oh, I've only seen chapter 2. I need to sit down and watch chapter 1. The same can be said for another Stephen King project, Maximum Overdrive, which was based on the short story Trucks, which later was adapted again into a TV movie called Trucks. So it's not a remake of this. Carrie is the original Carrie, and then the second Carrie remake adaptation because The original Carrie came out in 76. There was a TV remake in 2002, and then 2013 there was that one. Like King Kong. King Kong was originally made in 1933. Was re-released in 38, but it had some stuff cut out because there was a new production code. We'll have a complete remake in 76. Which is changing the story, so it's a bit of a retelling of the story. But a complete remake in 2005, and then a reboot in 2017. Now, my complete feelings on remakes. Iffy. It's iffy. I didn't like the Friday the 13th remake. I mean, it's okay, but to me it doesn't live up to what the original series was. Texas Chainsaw Massacre in my horror movie. Why I like horror movies, I talk about how I feel about how that's the first horror movie I've ever seen. The original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the first horror movie I've ever seen. How it scared me, and it's been the only horror movie to ever scare me. The only one that ever come close to that was House by the Cemetery. But the remake and its prequel basically had no effect on me. It didn't give me the same feeling that it did. Although I do like this Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, by the way. Bill Moseley's cool. I liked the first Night of the Living Dead remake directed by Tom Savini. Bill Moseley appearing as Bill, Barbara's brother. Good remake, but I didn't like the the Night of the Living Dead 3D. I did not like that at all. I thought it was crap. I thought it was garbage. I haven't seen the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I've seen the Halloween one. I didn't care for that. I still like the original series better than, well, with the exception of part. What part was that? The one where he gets beat up by Busta Rhymes, who goes all whoa kung fu on him. No, but doing a remake, especially when it's years later and things have changed, it allows you to do certain things. To monetize it. Which I'm not against, but it can ruin the story. The Fog. Look at The Fog and Assault on Precinct 13. Now, the remake of The Fog, it's not that bad. Kind of enjoyed it. Due to advancements in technology, what we can in graphics and what we can do in special effects and CGI, yeah, it helped that movie a lot. And getting things they did differently in that, because you didn't, other than silhouettes, I don't think you really see the spirits that are coming out of the fog, but you get to see them more. You get the background story, and there's some subplot stuff that is in the remake that's not in the original. Then you get Assault on Precinct 13, which I love the original Assault on Precinct 13. I need to get a copy of that, but the remake sucked. I did not like the remake at all. It was garbage. Carrie is a movie I enjoyed. This remake, I enjoyed. The TV remake, the fact that it has a happy ending, I did not enjoy. Carrie, by the way, spoilers, Carrie dies in the original, and the second remake lives in the TV remake. I love this movie. You know, I know it's been panned, been called bad, but I love it. I did not care for trucks. It's been a long time since I sat down and watched this, but I believe I did enjoy this. I've only seen part 2 of chapter 2 of this in the theater. I love it. I need to sit down and watch it. The first one. It's been a long time since I've sat down and watched the original Japanese one, which is, again, well, get the light, not the shine, but that's, you know, this is the original Japanese one. And I've seen the original, so again, I can't really recall this. Prefer this over the remake. Godzilla! multiple remakes or retellings. The American 1998 or whatever that was, it's okay. I'm a bit more of the original, 1954. I enjoyed Shin Godzilla. I enjoyed the 2014 American Godzilla movie. That was awesome. I loved King of the Monsters, and I'm looking forward to Kong versus Godzilla. But remakes, again, they're iffy. They can do good. They can do the original, you know, justice, or they can just, like, not even that 3D, take a big dump all over them. Now, we are getting a reboot, apparently, of Resident Evil. I heard there was some pictures leaked that show it's going to perhaps take place in Raccoon City and maybe be more in tune with what the games were and not like the cluster, like I said in my Why I Like Horror movie, video, when I said, hey, I'm trying not to cuss, and again, I'm trying not to cuss, but that original series of movies became a clusterfuck that there was, what would happen, the continuity that one movie would set up would seemingly get ignored in the next one, and by the time you got to that last one, everything that had happened before is like they took a big shit on, and and I own, I believe, all of them now. Oh, but here's one that we can talk about. I forgot I had these. Classic movie. Army of Darkness is probably my favorite from the series. Second Resident Evil Dead movie was Trippy. The remake. Again, the advancements and effects. You can definitely see the difference, and has this had a much less budget than this, because I believe this was independent. This wasn't, so they were able to do more, a lot bloodier in this than it was in here. Hell, you got to see what at the end. Spoiler: it's raining blood. But again, remakes are an iffy thing. And adaptions, they'll always, I mean, we've been seeing it in video games. Ratchet and Clank got one. Final Fantasy VII. I don't really care for the Final Fantasy VII remake. I mean, there's a mission where you gotta pick flowers. What the fuck is that? So I didn't really care for it. I still am gonna be. I mean, I'm still gonna stay faithful to the original. That's where my heart lies. I don't, even though the graphics are incredible and much better in the remake than they were the original, I still am going to stay faithful to the original. And the Ratchet and Clank remake, which essentially is a video game adoption of the game, and a scene by scene pretty much if you play the original, you're pretty much playing the remake, because all they did was recreate them, just added some stuff in it, some characters that were in the movie. I didn't really care for that much. I like the original more than that. I want to see it, by the way, I want to see a remake of Parasite Eve and Dino Crisis. I think with current technology and graphics, those are all games that would be awesome. But again, I'm kind of iffy on the remakes. The remakes I like. Probably more remakes I dislike more than I like. I mean, I never got into. I did watch The Grudge, and the original, I believe, but I didn't really care for either of them. I think because I like my Japanese a bit more insane, like Tokyo Gore Police or Machine Girl. Reincarnation is a cool one. If you can get a chance to find that, check that out. Coffee. We're just getting cold. But, anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. Give me your input. I would like to see your comments and so I can see your input on what you think about remakes, adaptions, reboots. Do you like them? Which ones do you like? If you don't like them, I would like to see that. Anyways, I am Echo Kiro. I need to go edit this and upload this, do a thumbnail, whatever. But so, anyways, I'm Echo Kiro, and I will see you on the flip side. Alexa, tell me a horror joke.
A vampire walks into a bar and orders a Bloody Mary. The bartender says, "Mary, run for it."
Oh, God, that's a bad joke, and I love it. I'm so sad.